All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the final countdown because we are a week away from big convention. It's the Jersey Boy Omar Redemar. I'm super excited, super pumped up. I can't even tell you how excited I am tonight. Not just because we're training, but because convention is around, and I have the honor, the privilege to share a virtual stage with one of our super amazing rock stars, somebody who I admire, I respect so much. I learn from her. She's an educator. We become an educators. I'm learning that. I just learned that trainers, some trainers out there are just trainers, but good trainers are educators. And that's what we're doing tonight. So if you've never been on one of my trainings or our trainings, be prepared to be blown away tonight. But today, guys, we're not gonna feed you from a fire hose, so don't take it that serious, right? And so I am ready to bring some good stuff tonight, because I am here with my, I wouldn't say partner in crime, because that kind of sounds harsh, but the partner in the most amazing business in the whole wide world. Yes, please open your mic to the one and only Mrs. Cynthia Villanueva. What's up, Cindy?
Hey Omar, it's I love like co-hosting with you. Just yeah, I don't know if everybody else feeds off of his energy. I learned this back in 2015. It's like you have to surround yourself with the energy you yourself want to have. Okay, you can either be surrounded with people who are always scared or always negative, or you can surround yourself with people like Omar who have that energy. And it's just like it's amazing because I think it's a gift, it's like a God-given gift where like you can transmit that through a screen. You don't even have to be next to him for you to feel that. So I am super pumped up. I'm really excited about tonight's topic. It's no surprise that it's my favorite topic. We're definitely going to talk about social media. There's so much. I've changed my whole game in 2024 because things are always changing, things are always updating. And the best thing is the results that come with that. So I'm very excited to touch on that topic. And we are going to do this a little more interactive for the second half because I do want to know what questions in particular you all may have, because there are certain things, there are certain things that are for all platforms. I work primarily on Instagram. I'm building my TikTok because that is powerful. And Facebook, it's still a big deal for certain things. Okay. Maybe you're fully focused on Facebook, maybe Instagram, maybe TikTok. I'm not sure, but I would like to know exactly what questions or what, tweaks or pivots you're trying to do, and like what is your objective using these platforms. Okay. So we're going to start actually with some very powerful content. It's called I want to say the 4 pillars of content creation. Or is that your topic? Or maybe that was
Pretty
something.
much the 4 C's of a successful business on social media, but it's basically, it aligns to that.
Okay,
Right.
perfect. Yeah, I think because Omar and I take very similar trainings from different people who have a lot of results. And I love when we always talk because we always share ideas and a lot of them intermingle because we're like in the same wavelength. So I absolutely love that. Of course, I think I'm going to talk about pillars lately, which is very similar to what you're saying. So let's go ahead and get started with the four C's. I have that so stuck in my head, the pillars. I cannot get that out of my head, but I'll talk about that in a moment. So Omar, go ahead. Tell us a little bit about what it is that you've been learning and implementing in your social media, because I want to know, I want to learn from you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being on here tonight and giving me the honor to be on here virtually, though I'm going to see you soon, God willing. So I'm really blessed to be here tonight. And I want to give a little updates before we get on track of what we're going to be talking about. Like I said before, I'm not going to feed you our fire hose. I'm going to go, basic. I'm going to go very easy on you guys. I noticed that sometimes I just throw stuff at you and you're like, like lost in translation. And that's okay. That's normal. That's perfect. It's totally normal. It happened to me too. I'm just excited that when I learn, I'm so excited to teach people. And sometimes we think that they can, everybody can learn at the same pace. I totally get it. Before we get started, there has been a lot of updates on social media. So if you heard any of my trainings about a year ago, I would probably tell you, hey, the best thing is, start connecting with them and go out there and spark conversations and then kind of like bring it up. So all that has changed. There's so much going on social media, and people are like very like the audience. And trust me, everybody on here, because you're in for life, you're an awesome people. Everybody has an audience. So the audience nowadays, 2024, is a very smart audience. And sometimes people are not going to want to necessarily talk right away with you, but they'll purchase. We'll get to that later. But I want to get onto the basics of what we doing building a business on social media. Before we do that, I want to tell you also that it's very similar to when you're doing in person. The only thing that changes is the first C, and it just changes the name, but it's the same objective, which means in the first one, if you're seeing somebody at the bank line or at the store, at the grocery store, you're going to try to connect with them, right? So on social media, that connections mean your content. Whatever you're talking about, you're going to create that content that creates the initial connection with you. Now, I want to know before we get onto this, who on here is already building or trying to build on social media using, social media? And I don't see you. I know Cindy's crushing it. I commented on one of her videos. Guys, if you're not following Cindy on TikTok, go boost that page. And I'm going to share some stuff at the end that's going to help everybody boost their own algorithm. We're gonna get this going. So I see some hands up, and that's great. Let me tell you something. Social media is like the biggest blessing we have had for networkers if you do it right. It is a given. It's a gift for us if you know how to do it right. Why? Because in today's world, thanks to Amazon back in '97 when they started the e-commerce stuff, in today's world, people are actually looking for solutions. They're desperately searching nowadays, especially on any SEO, search engine optimization. They're going to look for stuff. This is why you need to take advantage of this wave and become somebody. You don't need to be incredibly influential. You don't need to have millions of followers. You do not need to have hundreds of thousands of followers to grow a decent audience and overall to make money. Let's be very honest. I do not have hundreds of thousands of followers. I don't have millions of followers, and I'm making money. So I want to share that with you, because if you understand how very simple this is, because sometimes we get in our own head, and it's totally normal. I was there. Where do I start? How do I do? What do I talk about? Oh my God, I can't be coming out. Sometimes I put my hat on because I haven't combed. I get from work. I just, shower, eat something quick. Man, there's been days where I had a white shirt on and I kind of stained it. I had to throw a black one on top. Listen, people get you. People nowadays, they understand you. They want to relate with you at a point. If you're too flashy, too shiny, too polished, too perfect, they'll skip, to be honest. The more genuine and authentic you are, the more you will connect with your audience. And trust me, they will tell you, oh, finally, somebody understands me. Finally, somebody I can actually sit there and say, that's a normal person. I'm over here thinking like, really? That's all people want. So the first C out of all these four is the one that's going to get you that connection, which is content. What are you going to talk about? First C is content. Make sure you write this down, because this is going to be game changing for most of you, because it's so simple. The content you're going to create is going to talk to the audience you want to get. And eventually, and now for next month, we're going to be talking about how to create our I help statement. I'm going to help you with that, because I recently was on some trainings. I had a social media review. They reviewed my page, and I'm honored to say that, thank God, I've been learning to follow the instructions, and I'm going to share it with you, with all of you. So that's the first one, content. The second one, and this is very important, because this is going to follow a sequence, but it's also going to follow, if you do it right, it's going to follow you to take it to the whole next level. And that is the none and only. Let me get it real quick. I'm not going to show it to you. I'm just going to say it so we go a little faster. Comments. You want to start conversations. So in order to get the conversations, you need to get people to the comments. So in your content, in your first one, the first C, the content, especially in short form videos, always, 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 did I say always? Always have a CTA. What is a CTA? Call to action. Always. Why? Because it's going to take you to the second C, which is to the comments. Now, I think it was Dave who said involvement creates commitment or something like that, right? So if you involve people into common thing, now they're committed. Now you know they really want it. And guess what? It brings us to the third C, conversation. Conversation is the third C. Remember, in the For Life community, we're focused overall. The slogan of the company is together building people. So we're going to focus first on transformation over transaction. Okay? If you can write that down, that's going to be something that's going to change your game. It's going to change the way you see it. Because once you start thinking of how can I make people's, and I write this down, BEM. I think I mentioned it in the other training. How can you make people's lives better? B. Entertaining, E. And more fun. If you fail those, you're passing already your promise to communicate the right message to people. And trust me when I tell you, you guys can go look on my page. Go look up Facebook is where I live. You could check my Facebook page and look off some examples. I just recently learned that my audience, most of my audience are believers. They're people of faith, you know, they're Christ-centered. I didn't know that before. So if you try to attract everyone, you will hit no one. If you market to everyone, you will hit no one. It's just scattered all over. You're throwing spaghetti against the wall, see if it sticks. So your content's going to be tailored to that one person. Once I discovered that, I changed my I help statement. My I help statement says now, I help faith-based busy parents over 40 reduce the effects of aging through simple hacks. This took me a while because I want some other audience. No, I want to talk to business people. I want to solve problems. Yeah, but what problem am I solving? So that's something we're going to talk next week or next one. I'm going to help everyone possible, and I'm going to at the end I'm going to give a good announcement. Those of you looking into a little accountability, I'm willing to make it happen. We can all pick one person in here and make accountability happen. And trust me, those that say that social media is not duplicatable, they're going to have to take their words back. We're about to change the game. But this is why I love this, because today, listen, Cindy and I, we're not just here being trainers. We're lab techs. We get on our white gown, we pull up our sleeves, we're in the trenches just like you. We're taking action day by day, learning, because I don't know it all. But everything I learned, and Claudia knows, everything I learned, I bring it to this community. I want everybody to grow. I want people out there from other companies in the whole industry to say, yo, those For Life people, they ain't no joke. These people are sharp. And I want them to respect us to that level. Because we got Jeff, we got Dave, we got Juan Rosado. Juan Rosado, there's people in the other companies, English companies, that know Juan Rosado. I was like, they're talking about the security guard over here. I'm on a training. This was 2 weeks ago. I'm on a training. They're talking about, oh, there's a story about this guy that we're marketing. He was a security guard and he's coming up. And I'm feeling like they're getting my attention. When they say, oh, this guy, I think his name is Juan Rosado. He's from another company. Like, no way. I'm like, dude, oh my God, I had goosebumps. I was excited. I looked like a little kid. I was on that Zoom. People were looking at me. I'm like, oh, you could see it in my face. Because why? They're getting to know the For Life leaders. And we are the new generation of these leaders. We are going to bring this fire up like it was before, but way bigger than before. Why? Because these people, I got to tell you something. The old leaders in our company, old, respectfully, the senior top leaders, these people, I'm gonna say it, trying to say it nice. These people, okay, it's the medical term. cojones. Okay, these people have them. All right. Why? Because these people build without social media, without none of this stuff. They build huge organizations. What we're about to do, they're gonna not look small, but we can build bigger if we do it right. All right. So that was the third C. I get fired up. I told you guys, I get fired up. If you're driving, I hope you parked because I'll be going on it. So the third one was conversation, and now you want to turn those conversations into money. How? Conversion. You convert them into money. You give them the offer. Let them taste. What do you want? You give them options. We're going to do more a deep dive on this next month. I don't want to overwhelm you, but these are basically the 4 C's of building your business on social media or in person. You connect, you create content on social media with a CTA, take them to the comments. Why you want to drive them to the comments? I want to see if anyone knows on here. Why you want to drive them to the comments? You can raise your hand and open your mic. I do not mind. Why do you want to drive people to the comments? Why can't you just give it to them right there? Here, just take the link. Anyone? Ana Rocio, you can open your mic. No? Doesn't let her?
She can
Fine.
open now.
Yeah. To create conversations.
Right. That's the number one. And the number two, you boost your algorithm. More people, every time people comment and you comment on them, doesn't matter what platform, whoop, they show you more. They put you into there. They put you into, well, TikTok got
Engagement.
You get more engagement. TikTok got the For You page and they got the Friends page. So TikTok will put you on both, so more people get you and more people engage with you. Facebook is doing the same now because Facebook is trying to catch up with TikTok. To be honest, TikTok is way ahead of the game. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff later about how TikTok people are literally with their wallets on their hands looking, where can I spend my money? Literally, people on TikTok are very, very advanced. They're ahead of the game. What I do is because on TikTok, you can't play much with links. You could try sending a link on a message. They won't be able to click on it. So what I do is I bring them home. I bring them home to mama. I'll be like, come over here. You know, you let's bump in. I want to talk to you more. I can't send you links. TikTok doesn't allow you. Let's go to Facebook. And then from there, yes, a lot. Oh my God, you hit it. Tons of people are using TikTok Shop. And later, I'm going to talk to you, not later, but in another training, guys, you could do it too. Doesn't matter if you're in full life. You can take advantage, but savvy about it. Anyways, so the last one is conversion because you want to turn those conversations into money. We will do a deep dive about this. Exactly what to do, what to say. I'm going to share with you my boards. I'm going to share with you my conversation. You will see on your screen the conversations I have with people. How do I go with them until I close them or they just stood? Not everybody buys, but I'm going to share with you next month. I do not mind. I've spent money on this, but I'm making money on this, so I don't mind sharing. All right. And if anybody on here was on the comments to conversation course and the training, sorry, but this is my peeps, you know, and I got to share what I learned. I know we paid for it. We paid a lot of good money. So, I don't care about the money. I want everybody to be on the same page. That being said, let's bring the amazing, the most wonderful, the rock star, the powerhouse, Cindy, back to our stage so she can start bringing that fire too. We got some good news at the end. Don't go far.
Nice. I want to know that good news too. Actually, I took some notes from Omar's conversation because I love it. I love everything I learned from Omar. It's like I implement a lot of what you say and it hits. It's really good. So I really hope y'all wrote that down and took note. I always take notes from everyone, y'all. Like you should see this year, I switched up everything. I used to have notebooks, but then that became a burden. So now I legit have a binder. Let me close this. Oh, wow. I messed up a page, but I legit now have a binder and I put it into like sections inside with like all my different things going on in my life because I'm huge on organization. It's like I'm an organization freak. Okay, but it's good. It's good because my husband is chaotic. So one of us has to be organized and that's like my thing. So that being said, If you follow us on Instagram, you know, okay? Anyway, so getting back on track because I feel like a squirrel. I will tell you, one of my college professors said I had the attention span of a squirrel, but that's okay because it works to my favor now. Okay. I learn a lot of things from this. So, right now we are talking about the 4 C's, okay, of successful business, content creation, just being on social media. So, the big question here, and let me preface this by saying, I see social media as not just for network marketing. Network marketing is my baby. It's my go-to. It's what feeds us. It's what allows us to live the lifestyle we have. And I think it's one of the best ways for anyone to grow in leadership, to grow in business mindset and in skills. To me, this is like the university and it's fantastic. That being said, there are so many other things in the future. Concentrate on getting good at one thing first, okay? Focus on network marketing, focus on one thing, right? Then you can expand. And one of the reasons why I am heavily invested on social media is not just for network marketing, but because I know a lot, I can honestly capitalize. I can create a giant community online around my own personal brand. I am my own brand and I can do so much with that in the future, not just through network marketing, but there's so many different opportunities in case you want to diversify in the future. It is currency nowadays. Your social media engagement, your social media brand is currency nowadays. It is what it is. Okay. So that is my big vision with that, which is why I want to create a community around the things that I believe in and the things that I really, really like talking about and where I feel I can really help other people. And honestly, I've done a lot of soul searching. I've taken, I've had great mentors who've helped me hone down on who it is I am speaking to. And I don't know if you were here for that training, but there was one training when we were talking about the target audience, your ideal customer, your target person. And we all created our own personal avatars that we talked to. If in case you weren't there, my avatar's name is Lauren. She lives in Houston, Texas. And, she works in an engineering place, even though, she graduated from college, she does well, et cetera, et cetera. She's around 20 something and she earns a good 60K a year. All right. So I am very specific about Lauren because I am talking to Lauren. That is my ideal audience. So if you were in that training, great. If you weren't, you can definitely look up one of the recordings. So social media has the potential of so much. And one of the best ways to use it right now is to promote, not only your brand, but to capitalize with network marketing. All right. It's one of the best times for it. No matter what people say, no matter what, mean people can talk about or make videos, it's still one of the best ways. Okay. It doesn't matter. But before we continue, I do want to know, first of all, I think there are a few of us who are actually using social media, but who here has questions about even the most basic questions, y'all? I don't want to go into elaborate things if the questions are more basic. I want to make sure that we're reaching out to everyone and that if you have any questions about social media, about duplication with social media, which I will talk a little bit about at the end, like what questions specifically do you have? Is it about a target audience? Is it how do I start? Because that is such a great question. Like, how do I start? And who do I talk to? What kind of content should I post? Because I know Omar's number 1C was content, create content, but you're not just going to create random content. You're not just going to create, funny videos. I mean, eventually you can add and incorporate a funny video here or there, but like, what kind of content are you creating? Okay, that's a great question. But before I start, does anyone have a specific question that they would like to address about their own social media? Yes, Rita. Can you unmute? I think I asked you to unmute. If not, you can type it out, I feel.
Okay.
Yvette, do you have a question?
How I'm muted. Sorry.
Okay, let's see. Okay. I don't
What's
know.
wrong?
You can type it in the comments. We'll get it there.
Okay.
If anyone has a question from the beginning, you can raise your virtual hand, your Zoom hand, and we'll go in that and try to go the best in the order we can.
Okay, Sandra, good question. Sandra's saying, can we say For Life or Social Economic Networkers? Because I know that's the organization you are attached to. Okay, everyone has different organizations. There's AIM, there's SEND, there's Generation Networker. All of them are fine. Okay, everything's fine. You don't. It doesn't matter where you belong. Okay, you belong everywhere. Yes, you can say For Life. Yes, you can say SEND. Yes, you can say AIM. Yes, you can say Generation Networker. They're all fine. This 2015 was the year when people would like post different things and like hide, like if they had Rio Vida, they would hide the name and like, oh, this is my electrolytes and just put them in there. They would hide. Nowadays, people want transparency. Yes, I am with For Life Research. Yes, I am part this. The name of my team is, Ambassadors in Motion. It's Social Economic Networkers. It's, the Phoenix team. I don't know, if there's a Phoenix team, but you can say whatever it is, say it, because people, like, honestly, in my experience, they're not buying too much into, oh, let me figure it out. Let me deep dive into this person's page and no, they're just tell me what it is. Okay. If you've noticed on social media, there are some pages like People Magazine or E-News Online, and they'll post like clickbait articles like, this is the best seat on an airplane. Click the link in the bio. And the first comment will always be like, y'all, the article says this, here's a summary, saved you a click. And people are like, thank you so much for just summarizing for me, because I'm not going to click on anything. Okay. We have the attention span of squirrels. So just say it out loud. Okay. Yes, Omar.
I'm sorry, I wanted to say something on that real quick, especially on TikTok and YouTube. Yes, there's search engine optimization. Yes, use For Life. Yes, use your team name. Why? Because it builds curiosity. If you do it right, trust me, people are looking. Because one of the things I recently did, and I had somebody reach out to me, I put on YouTube, they said, what you need to know before you join For Life. It's the presentation. But people are actually writing to me and they got into my email. I'm like, yeah, so I got you more like, why do you make it so mysterious? Like, because you were looking for a fault, weren't you? You were looking for something bad. But search engine optimization, TikTok and YouTube, all in. Go for it. Go ahead, Cindy.
No, that's a good one. So yes, go out and about and say it out loud and proud. Jesus is asking, I noticed when I post in social media, just a few people like, but if you go into stories, more people see it. Of course, I can get like 50 likes in a post or 100, but it's like 300 people watching my story or 400 people watching my story, because people are watching. People are watching. They're just, a lot of people are like hiding as they like look at your stuff. And
Ninja tip for stories. Take your freaking product to the stories.
Yeah.
Every day. But there's one thing that's happening now, because Instagram changed and Facebook Meta changed in the recent summit. Now they're allowing 6 stories. They're going to be showing 6 stories, and they want you to wait till it finishes, till it ends, so you can post the next day. So before you can put like 20 stories, people are not watching. They're skipping. Like when they see the little tiny lines like that, they're just skipping. So now they're suggesting 6 to 8 stories max. But yeah, take your delicious, yummy liquid Botox on your stories and let people know about it.
Yes. Look, your content is what will attract, but you sell in your stories. That is the place where you're selling, straight pitching everything. Okay. Content is attraction. So it's normal to get more views in your story. You're getting people in your stories. Now make sure your stories are more interactive. Add polls, add questions, put an ask box in there, augment it like that. I think someone's unmuted. Rita, do you have a question?
Rita has a really good question. Let me just read it out for her. I don't know who's breathing like Darth Vader, but okay. Rita says, I'm new at this. I assume that social media platform has a way to charge for people with business accounts. No, not true. That's something that's different. They charge you if you're doing ads and stuff like that. Social media is the place you can pay, but the best way to grow organic, the best way to have organic reach without paying and making money, any platform on social media.
Yeah, you don't, unless you're running like targeted ads. I mean, I wouldn't do that if you're starting off. It's best to just start off organic. In the future, when you have more like set base and you have a really set offer of something, then you can run an ad. But I wouldn't do that now. So no, you don't have to pay for anything right now or for a business account. They're free on Instagram, Facebook.
And
Facebook
TikTok.
should be free too. I don't know
Yeah,
if you can do anything
yeah,
on Facebook.
yeah. And you
Okay.
can switch them too. You can, if you have a TikTok, you can switch to a business account and then to creator, and it doesn't change anything. Just just the name of creator and business account. But yeah, they won't charge you. You
Yeah,
do get some features. Did you get, like, you would get more stats, more data, like specific data of these people from certain age and certain region. But right now you just want to grow the audience and start building that audience. In the future, if you feel free, more power to you. Go ahead, do it.
right. I know I personally have a creator account because I like the things that come with a creator account, but other people have business accounts. It really is whatever you prefer. I don't see any like, oh, there's more advantages to this or that. It really is your own personal preference. Okay.
So as Susan's saying, also when I mentioned For Life in social media, some people say, "Oh yes, MLM, like Herbalife, something like that." Welcome, buddy. Welcome to the tribe.
It is the best way to start a conversation. They
Yeah,
started the conversation for you, okay?
they did it for you, literally.
Keep going. It's great. You got their attention. Yeah. Be like, oh, like, I'm sorry. Have you been in Herbalife or have you been involved? And keep the conversation going. Ask the right questions. That's a skill you develop and have them talk to you. Yeah, no, I've never been in Herbalife, but my aunt, oh, so what happened to her? Keep the conversation going. Like, what
I
happened
like
to
that
oh,
story.
that's,
Tell me more about it.
yeah, tell me more about it. I want to know. Like, let me know. And then they'll tell you their sad story about someone they know or someone they saw or someone's friend who's a friend who's a friend, whatever. They'd be like, that's so interesting. I've heard that happening in so many companies, but modern day network marketing is so different. My company is wildly different. They may be in the same industry, but it's just, apples and oranges. It's just not the
One
same.
really big ninja tip: do not mention the word network marketing on TikTok. Don't talk about affiliate marketing, network marketing. They will not show you. They won't tell you. You won't even notice it, but they won't show you because they want to grow their shop. Get what I'm saying? So if you're clever about it, you create value, give value, content with value, helping people, whatever, tips, secrets, improvement, whatever, how to keep your skin silky smooth, whatever. And you build the content, have CTAs and conversation, then you take them, then you let them know it's network marketing. But yeah, just one big tip, ninja tip, don't mention the word network marketing. They don't like us on TikTok. So
Yeah.
just keep that as a
I think they like banned the word network marketing or something, but there's so many ways around that. Just, you're gonna have to just talk about other things like Omar said, like who's your target audience? Who are you talking to? The people, like, your brand or, some product you really like, and then drive to conversations and then, drive the whole thing. Any other questions about that? Look, some of the biggest, most successful people I know who use social media to grow the network marketing businesses, and I'm talking about like 7-figure businesses, they grew insanely on TikTok. So can you do it without saying the word network marketing on TikTok? Yes. Okay. You can most definitely do it. And they're like straight up about it too. So anyway, okay. If there are no more questions, then I'm going to dive into, I think to me, what has been the most game-changing thing I've done this year that has brought me the people I'm looking to, grow a business with. So of course, you can grow a business with anyone. You shouldn't judge or, have bias against any person like, oh, they won't be good for the business. No, but there is a certain person that I want to work with because it's a person, you're gonna, to me, these are relationships who are for the rest of your life. Okay. I've seen, and it's true because I grew up like with a lot of people in network marketing because of my mom. She's been in this company since 2004. It's 20 years in For Life, 20 years. I'm 35. So since I was 15. So a lot of the people around me, I've known through For Life. Okay. These are relationships that will continue for a long time. Some of them will become close to you like family. Others will always be, your associate, but there's always a respectful relationship. So it is time when like you think, who do I want to basically partner up with for the rest of my life? It's like, this is a business. When you start, I don't know, a brick and mortar company and you're going to have like a partner, you want to make sure it's someone that you can vibe with. You guys are on the same wavelength. that, you know, in the future, it'd be easier to form a relationship, trusting relationship with. So a lot of that on social media comes down to your target audience. Who is it you're talking to? So something that I learned a lot, I'm going to share with you my sheet of paper. I don't know if you can read it, but it's basically content pillars. First of all, I created my avatar. Okay. So if you missed that training, you can go back and watch it. I basically pinpoint who it is I want to talk to. I give them an age, I give them a salary, I give them a work background, I give them a name, right? So whenever I'm creating something, it's like I'm looking at Lauren and I'm like, Lauren, this is what I wish you knew. You are basically in a similar position that I was in before this opportunity. And I want to let you know, there are so many things out there. You know, you're not alone, you're not lost. This is my experience and I know this is going to help you. So I'm always talking to Lauren. In my mind, Lauren is in her 20s. I think it's at 26. She should be turning 27 this year. Just kidding. But since I'm 35, I've met so many people. I've never met so many people so much younger than I am. I'm usually the youngest person, like where I used to be around. My friends were always like at least 5 to 10 years older than I was. And now I know a whole bunch of kids in their 20s. And these kids look at me like I'm ancient. They're like, one kid told me, hey, you're pushing 40. And I was like, okay, I don't hate you, but I'm like, so 40 is super young, okay? 60 is super young. Guys, like age is such a different concept nowadays. Ever since J-Lo got up in the Super Bowl at 50, looking the way she did, age went out the window, okay? It doesn't matter. Anyway, so I'm 35, but I'm talking to a lot of 20-year-olds who think their life is over at 30. So most of my content is catered to women who are around 30 or over 30, okay? And these women want to know more about women's health, okay? This is why I incorporate product. They want to know how to stay healthy and fit in their 30s. I'm not the fittest person in the world. I got belly rolls, y'all. I still do because I'm still in my process. That does not keep me from talking about fitness with other women. And in my calls to action, you will always read, hey, if you're also starting a fitness journey, join me. We'll learn together. And that's how I started attracting so many more people who are like, hey, yeah, I'm 35 too. I'm trying to figure this out. I didn't learn as a kid. Teach me what you know because you talk my language. If I follow a super fit 32-year-old or a super fit 20-year-old, I don't get it because I've never had those habits. How did you build that habit? You know what? How did you even start going to the gym? And I'm like, y'all, this is real basic. This is where I started. Those are the people I'm talking to. Okay, that was when I was in my early 30s. Actually, when I was in my 20s, I didn't know a single thing about women's health because I grew up, you know, in a very poor background where we were just surviving. We didn't have access to any medical like knowledge. Okay. And by the time I grew up and my mom was really, you know, picking up on this business, I was already out of the house and there was no one around me. There's not many people around who talk about women's reproductive health or just women's health in general. Science hasn't even caught up. It's like they don't care. So I have to go and dig in and learn. Okay. And I'm asking people, hey, are you in the same position that I am or that I was in? Come over here. Let's learn together. And that is the type of people I'm having conversations with now. And guess what? I can always recommend, like, you know, this is what I take. This is the pre-workout that I take. This is the protein that I take. These electrolytes are super important. This is what I take. And these are the reasons why, right?
I love that you mentioned something before you continue. Guys, you notice how Cindy has a content about fitness or woman health, but then led the conversation with a CTA, whoever talks to her, she led the conversation with products. You don't even have to talk about your products or anything, you know, any ailment, but you talk about any content, then you bring them into the conversation and you introduce them to your products. It's simple. It's very simple. I love that. Sorry, Cindy. I just wanted to mention that.
No, go ahead. But the key here is, who are you talking to? Who are the people? Who do you have something to teach? Like so many 20-year-olds around me. I don't know why. I don't understand what God is telling me right now. But I think he's like, yo, you're 35. You have some experience in life. And these kids are terrified of aging. There's so many conversations I've had with them where like, no, by the time I'm 30, I need to be married. I need to have at least one kid. I need to own a home. I'm like, okay, I'll see you maybe you will. I don't know. Maybe you will. But don't beat yourself up about it. There's this girl I know who's 29 and she is going through it because she thinks that by 30 she should already, this is pretty personal, but like have a baby and this and that. And I'm like, girl, don't stress the more you stress your body out, the less prepared you will be to do anything health wise. Like, here's a couple of words of wisdom I'm going to share your way. If I'm hoping to have children and I'll have them after 35, like your timeline is your own. But I think there was a moment in my past when I was freaking out. No, actually I was enjoyed 30. My scary age is like 42, I think. Okay. So, but now with so many people in their 40s who are who are in the best shape of their life, who are just living their life. I'm like, dang, 40s are the new, like actually 40s are the new 20s. I see my mom, don't tell her I said this. I don't know if this is on Facebook, but she's in her 60s, right? She's living the best part of her life. Oh my God. I'm like, girl, like you're Miss Thing over here. I'm not scared of that. But seeing those examples, knowing there are people out there. I posted this like thing that almost went viral yesterday about Anne Hathaway's quote about how she's like, there's always coming of age stories in your early adulthood when you're 20. But she's like in her 40s, I think. And she's like, I feel like I'm always blooming. I'm like, yeah, me too. So that's who I'm talking to, which is why conversation is just so much easier. Rita says, I wish seniors could learn that there are alternatives to try, but many seem already set, on what they believe.
That's your audience. That's your market right there. That's it. Good job, Rita. Look at that.
Rita, actually, yeah. If you share your social media handle with me, I'm going to send you a profile that I follow of, I think she's a doctor or something. She's like 63. Oh my God. I think she has the same mission you do. And I follow her because she's my motivation. She looks better than most of the people I know in their 20s. And she's got this whole personality. And I think she's done such a great job, but she's talking to exactly the same people you're talking to. There are people who give up after 30. I'm like, you're 30, you're barely starting to think we're just born. Like, stop talking.
Oh my God, my life is over.
Huh? I'm going on a rant.
30, they're like, oh my God, my life is over. They're 30 years old. Rita, let me tell you something. I want to share something personal with you. 54 to 64% of people who watch my videos on Facebook and on TikTok are people over 50 and 60. They're on social media. They want to know what's going to get them holding on for the next 40 years, at least to walk and be able to jog a little bit, be active. And what the company's about to launch now and a convention, you have a huge market. Like, you have people who want to take care of their health. They spend the money to take care of their health, and they know what feeling good is. So take advantage of that.
Rita, you would be, I want to share that profile with you and my dad's. For those of you to know who have not known me very long, he's actually my stepdad, but I call him my father for personal issues. Just kidding. But really, Angel Sanchez, I don't know how many of you know him, but he was born in what, 1949? No, I don't know. He's in his 70s. Okay. And he talks to exactly people in their 60s and 70s who want to have a good quality of life. He's always talking about the right supplements, about the right exercises and the right way to eat and the right mentality to have, so he and his wife are very youthful people and his target is very much that, right? So yeah, it's like you can, I don't think like age is a limit. In fact, one of the pages I follow talked about why it's so important to do your strength training exercises, especially because the body as it ages needs to maintain strength muscle mass, right? In my age, right? So like, there's so many things you can talk to anybody really. In fact, that's a very good niche community to have. Well, then I'm tired of being told everything is about my age. Right, exactly. Yeah. If you look at my dad, he's like a 30-year-old dude. He has more like energy than them. So there's a community for everyone. Now I'm going to go into this real quick. After you identify who you're talking to, and don't worry, Like, just start taking action, and slowly but surely you're going to hone in on exactly who your audience is. Okay, because you'll become, I'm very passionate about my topic, maybe because I see it so much in person, and then all these like people online, they're like, yeah, I feel the same way. I'm like, good, then we vibe. The next thing you need to do is create your content pillars. This will drive exactly what content you should be making, right? So if I'm talking to women in their 30s about women's health and fitness, I am not posting celebrity gossip. I am not posting, I don't know, my main content is not about what I'm wearing, because I'm not trying to attract people to sell clothes to, maybe if that was my target audience, that's what I would be talking about. You have to be more specific about the content you're creating. So that goes really well with exactly what Omar was training on, which was creating the right content, which will lead to comments, conversations, and conversion, right? But you need to make sure you have the right content to attract the people who want to talk to you. Did you want to say something, Omar?
No, I was reading what Siobhan was just put in the chat box, and I think it's just so good for everybody. But before you continue, because I know I wasn't sure if it was a question, that's why I was popping in. But she says most like when you're in your 50s and 60s, you most likely are feeling the pain and aches of getting older. And if you can come across like 40 and bounce around, don't complain about your aches and pains because you don't have them. Then well they will either hate you and go away or notice and ask what you're doing. I have 40 years thinking in the same age as them. That was really good. And you know what? Right now, the best thing we have is that once you start taking care of this, they will see it. They'll see you active. They'll see you doing stuff that they're like, how the heck you're 50 and you're just jumping all over. Like, that's what I want to be seen. Like my grandson, I want to be seen when I'm 50 something, I'm chasing him, running literally after him, playing around. They're like, what's going on with this old guy? He's going to get hurt. No, I'm good. But anyway, Sydney, sorry to jump in like that. When you finish, I want to share something before we close, but I'm going to let you finish with the pillars because I'm taking notes as well.
Right. So a content pillar is basically you should have between 3 to 5. Eventually you'll get 5. Content pillars are exactly, you have to choose 3 to 5 things like you'll talk about that have to do with your niche. The best way I can explain this to you is by telling you what my content pillars are. All of you know that I'm talking to women in their 30s about women's health and fitness. Basically, I'm making sure that we age well. And there's not a lot of information about that out there. So I talk about, these are the things I post about, and you can actually go since January into my content and look at this. I talk about fitness after 30, straight up my alley. I talk about healthy habits as a woman in my 30s. I will talk about the immune system in women. I shared a very personal story about my HPV diagnosis when I had it. A lot of people are very supportive. Surprisingly, like I was still kind of like scared to talk about it after someone sent me a private comment about how I should not be sharing those things. That was one of the first messages that I was like, oh my God, did I make a big mistake here? But then like the most random people were incredibly supportive. Omar, thank you for being so supportive there. So that, I shared that to tell people this is why I'm passionate about this. I had no idea what HPV was when I got it, So that is one of the reasons I'm passionate and talk about the immune system in women. And then one of the contents which I'm starting to incorporate more into my pillars are immune system care on the go, because I'm a woman in my 30s who's on the go. I have my career, I travel, and a lot of the people I interact with are also women on the go. These are independent women. These are women who sometimes they're single or they're married, but they're still on their own. They're traveling, they're moving. So we don't have time to, be planting food and racing. I mean, I think that's great. It's just not who I am. So if you give me something good on the go, that's my thing, because those are the products I gravitate to. And one pillar that I'm incorporating as well is being a businesswoman in my 30s. They all go together, okay? Because I'm talking to women in their 30s about the possibilities in their life, because life is not over. Life is just beginning, obviously. And you can be an entrepreneur, also take care of your, your health, Also take care of your fitness, especially if you're on a fitness journey. Let's go. We can do this together. And by the way, these are the things that can help you on the go, right? Those are my content pillars. So basically fitness after 30, healthy habits for women in their 30s, immune system and women, immune system on the go, and being a businesswoman in your 30s. And under that, I write exactly what my content is going to be. For example, if I'm talking about fitness after 30, I'm talking about workout ideas, mentality. I'm talking about mindset, especially as a woman, on your body image in your 30s, because your body starts to change. And I have people freaking out about, oh my God, I cannot lose weight as fast as I did. Oh my God, my hips just got wider. I'm like, that happens. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you, right? So it's talking to those people exactly. My niche will always be women in their 30s right now, right? And as I age, I will eventually go talking to women in their 40s, women in their 50s. This group is going to travel with me, okay? See how great that is? They're going to travel with me. And the sooner I start talking to them, the more, I'll be able to attract as time goes by. So whenever you have, your niche down, create content pillars so that your content isn't all over the place. So that when people see your face or see your name, they already know what to associate you with. Like most people by now, ever since last year, will be like, oh, Cindy, oh yeah, I know. She's always, she's working out. She's got that habit down. That's so great. She's on a fitness journey. They just know already because that's what I post about. And now I'm integrating, of course, I've had since January doing this, I'm incorporating these other topics that go toward my niche group. Okay, so those are content pillars and they will help you stay, in your lane when creating content. And that when people comment, they're the people you want to be talking to. All right, I don't know, I hope that made sense. We can definitely talk about it more in the chat, but I draw everything out. So this is like my little content pillar page, and it's pink because it stands out from all the white paper I have. That has nothing to do with anything except I wanted to say it. Let me see the comments.
That's powerful too. And I love the way you said, because it aligned perfectly with yesterday's training. Mindset is everything. Like if you put your mind, like Rita, I was reading there that Claudia said that to do videos while you riding your bike. Les Brown says there's people who die at 30, they don't get buried till they're 70. Because they die, they stop dreaming, they stop living, they stop doing exercise, they stop. If you do those videos, you're crushing everybody's excuses out there to even say, oh, I can't do anything, or I don't have time, I'm not really active. Whoa, they have no excuses. So mindset is really everything. I want to share something before we close the night real quick. And one of the misquoted of quotes of Benjamin Franklin, often misquoted, they say, Jack of all trades, the master of none. And that's not what he said. He actually said, when becoming a communicator, a great communicator, focus on being the jack of all trades, master of one. Not none, of one. Why? Because people are going to find you for that one message, for that one thing that you always talk about. And listen, even Eminem said it. I sound like a broken record every time I break my record, because you're constantly going to be like that, talking about that one thing. People do not bore when you talk about their problem. They don't. They will come just to feed off your value and your content. Now, newsflash, shockers, this is actually from last year, but it was updated this year. Leveraging live streaming when examining social media platforms, 75% of U.S. consumers say they have shopped on Facebook, 50% on Instagram, 29% on YouTube, 18% on TikTok. The popularity video of content on social media is undeniable, as 31% consumers say they often watch video brands posts on social media, and nearly a quarter pay attention to the live streams from brands. In fact, nearly half of Americans have purchased through live stream and would do so again. What does that show? It shows now that in this article also says that our research shows that nearly half of consumers have made a purchase via social media, and 58% are interested in doing so. Why do I share this? Why you come up with that, Omar? Because social media is making people money, and we're sleeping on it. We have something that the world needs, and no one can copy. They can't get what we have at Walgreens, Walmart, Costco, BJ's. They can't get it nowhere. GNC, let alone. They can't compare their Centrum and Flintstones with our vitamins and whatever we got, because we don't have another vitamin. We don't have a mineral. We don't have a herb. We have a discovery in our hands. And one of the biggest discoveries in today's science with longevity and anti-aging, besides what the company's launching now next week, is that the immune system, having a super immune system, is the key to a longer, healthier life, which is longevity. Longevity is being able to live longer, feeling good. Not necessarily being 80 years old and feeling 100. All the opposite. You could be 80, feeling 60, feeling 50, or even 40. It's up to us. But we need to take this to the world because the world is waiting for us. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry, I just want to answer Rita's questions. She said something about, are we to become influencers? You don't have to. I mean, if you want to, there's nothing wrong with it. You can do
Nothing
whatever you
at
want, really. If you want to, you can. If not, then you don't have to. All I'm saying is, if you're going to use social media, talk to the people you want to attract. Yes, there will be people who don't identify with you, and that's fine because you're not trying to talk to everyone. You're trying to talk to your people. I share my belly rolls and my cellulite right now, and there are people who are disgusted by it. Do I care? No, because I'm attracting people I want to attract, and that's fine, you know? So
I
mean,
think, Rita, if one thing you could, it depends what influencer means to you.
right.
Because yes, as networkers, yes, as social media content creators, we're gonna become influential to people. So we are influencing, but you don't want to be that super flashy influencer that everything is perfect, you know. Now, do they have a certain advantage because of their influence? Maybe, but a lot of influencers out there are not even making money.
Right. Yeah.
True fact. That's not me saying it. You can search it up. A lot of influencers that look all flashy, look nice, and like, wow, they're crushing it. They got millions of followers. A lot of them don't even know how to convert their clients. But anyways, that's another combo. That's another training. Guys, it's been an amazing night tonight. I love that you guys stood to the end because I'm about to share with you what we want to do for next month. We can start it next week. It all depends. So here's my crazy idea. I have some messages of conversation messages where two people can be included. We can create chats whenever you have, well, in our words, prospects, but anybody who's interested in the product or in the business, we could find an accountability partner and take those chats, but with two. That way, if I see, let's say, for example, I take Cindy as accountability, but I see somebody on her content comment thing, I'll go comment to that person, send them a message, and create a chat, most likely on Facebook. I'll take them out of TikTok, where Cindy and I are both in there with that person. Because sometimes you'll miss it. When you start getting, and I'm not bragging with this, but I've had videos with 700,000 comments. It's not easy to catch up. I'm still catching up to them. So when you have an accountability partner and you create a chat, one, credibility goes up. Two, now it's two on them and you have the right combos. And three, it's easier to close. So if anybody's willing to do that and y'all want to do it for next week or next month, raise your hand if it's okay. If it's a crazy idea, if from whackers right now, then let me know too. But I think that will work to kind of like hit a little bit the idea or the misconcept that people say, oh, network marketing is not duplicatable on social media. Social media is not duplicable for anyone. We're gonna change the game. We're gonna make it better. All right. So if you guys are down for that, you guys can pick one. And next month, after convention, I'll share the conversations so everybody can see. You can copy paste. I'll share the boards, and we take an accountability partner. And we start making things happen. It could be a sideline, a cross line, a down line, whoever you want to make it with. We can make this happen. I think we have something that might change a lot of paradigms out there, and I'm excited to share it. Is that cool? Sound good? Yeah, y'all mute. Y'all scare me when y'all silent like that.
That sounds like fun. Accountability partners are the way to go. I need to, Elias is sometimes my accountability partner, but we should probably trade.
Awesome. Have an amazing night, everyone. God bless you all. As we always say, see you all over the top.